G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia and the AFC North rundown. Week 4. Isn't that crazy? Week 4 already was versus the Texans really soon. We just finished with the Raiders. We are 2-1. And when you go to the standings, there's a few 2-1 teams, the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns, but we have the best AFC North record. So the Ravens are 2-1, the Browns are 2-1, and the old Bengals, they just snuck away last week against the Rams. I was really hoping the Rams would pull that victory out, but Stafford threw like 2 interceptions, and they're not Burrow won the game, but their defense kind of won the game. So let's look through some scores from last week. At Steelers, of course, 23-18. Great job. First victory since 1995, all the way out west against the Raiders. So that's pretty key, by the way. It's pretty big victory. Next, we had, oh my goodness, Browns demolished the Titans 27-3. And the Browns defense is pretty good too. I know we have our guy TJ Watt, and they're still going to try and debate TJ Watt and Myles Garrett being who's better. We know that our guy is better. Same time though, it is hard to say. Myles Garrett is a good pass rusher. 3.5 sacks. They took care of business. 27-3. Man, Titans couldn't do much at all. So Browns are now 2-0 at home. The next one we had was the Bengals 19-16, and they snuck away with a victory in those all-white uniforms. So when you go back to the standings, isn't that crazy? The Steelers, after the first week, a lot of fans, you know what? We were so hyped up from the offseason, and a lot of fans wanted to just throw in the terrible towel and say it's all over. The season's done. We can't play good on offense. They look terrible on defense. And yes, the team has not still found their identity. They still need to find a running game, push the O-line forward, all that kind of stuff. Everything we talked about in the offseason, they still need to try and do that. But you do see signs of promise that Kenny Pickett throwing the 72-yard pass at Calvin Austin, that Fry move touchdown as well. Kenny Pickett getting 2 touchdowns in the game. Najee Harris, he just needs some O-line push in front of him. I think he can do some big runs. Jalen Warren looks awesome out there too. He can receive the football, and he's run the rock pretty well too. We just need that O-line push to get us, a bit forward. But on the same side, the Steelers can't stop the defense either, or the run defense. I think we're allowing like 140 yards per game or something similar. It's crazy. But here we are. Win is a win. You can always correct. And we're leading the North. The Steelers are in front in first position. So it's Steelers, Ravens, Browns, and the Bengals. It's a long season yet, though. But let's get into the first few games. So first of all, we have an AFC North divisional matchup, that being the Baltimore Ravens. And also, guys, put the scores in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen? And I'll give you mine. So we have 3 matches to look over. We have Baltimore versus Cleveland. In this one, I want to say Cleveland. At the same time, though, I still think that Lamar Jackson can come back and beat these guys at home. But the Cleveland has a pretty good defense. And if Watson's on his game, last week I think it was 29 for 32, something similar, 280 yards. He got sacked 3 times. And I think it was like 2 TDs. If he plays good football and doesn't turn the ball over, Cleveland has a chance. But I like Baltimore with their kicking game as well, because we all know, is it Josh Tucker, John Tucker, Justin Tucker? He can hit field goals. We got our guy Boswell, but Baltimore can hit field goals. I know he missed one last week against the Colts. I'm going to say, though, Baltimore wins this game in a weird score. 24-19, Baltimore wins that game. All right, next one. We'll get rid of that one. Next one we're going to have is we'll do Pittsburgh last. So next one we're going to have is Cincinnati versus Tennessee. I still think that Josh Burrow, or Joe Burrow, or whatever his name is, Joe Burrow is still a bit injured. So Cincinnati are traveling to Tennessee, but what kind of a Tennessee team are we going to see in Tennessee? Too many puns there, too many rhymes. Because I'm not a big believer in Ryan Tannehill. He reminds me a bit like Kirk Cousins. Like, they just average out wins, but they can't do nothing too special in the playoffs or anything like that, or big games. Now, they've got Derrick Henry. They've got DeAndre Hopkins, right? Tannehill right now for the season is 1 TD, 3 sacks. Oh, my goodness. 1 TD, 3 interceptions, and 13 sacks. So their O-line is not holding up. So if the Bengals come into town, they could cause havoc. And if the Bengals score 20 points, do you see this Tennessee Titan team scoring 21 points? I am going to be really, really biased, though. And I want to see Derrick Henry have a field day. So in this game, I'm going to go back to... I know the Bengals have a better chance winning, but I can't choose them. I just can't. I hate them so much. Let's go Tennessee Titans win this game in a low score. 17, 17, 17, 16. Is that something maybe? Maybe. Look, it's hard to say, but I just can't choose the Bengals. All right. Next game, we have Steelers versus Texans. Now, in a few days' time, I'm going to go over since the 2000s, what is the Steelers' record against rookie quarterbacks? You guys can comment below if you want to, but I'm not going to release the information just yet. I did find an article from 2020 that I also counted from then, and it's pretty high. It's pretty high. So you got to look out. CJ Stroud, he's a rookie. And I just don't know. I just don't know if he can beat the Steelers defense with TJ Watt. Man, by the way, TJ Watt's having a fantastic year. 6 sacks, I think a few forced fumbles, hurries. He's having an all-pro defensive player of the year. Capable player right now. He's playing fantastic. So CJ Stroud, in his stats though, for 3 games played, he has 78 for 121, 900 yards, 4 TDs, and 0 interceptions. Do you guys remember last week they always talked about Jimmy G not being sacked? Well, the Steelers sacked him like 3 or 4 times. CJ Stroud is yet to have an interception, but he has 11 sacks. So I can see in this game, we're going to have a Minka. We're going to have a Peterson. We're going to have you know what? We're going to have a JPJ. We're going to have a JPJ sighting. JPJ is going to get his first pick against CJ Stroud in this matchup. But also, guys, it comes down to defense, comes down to running the football. We need to see our O-line do better. Warren, Najee, all those kind of things that we keep talking about, and just a lot of pressure that the O-line's been facing. They've been getting carved up by the Browns defense, by the 49ers defense. The Raiders got after Kenny Pickett a little bit too. Got to shore the O-line up with the pass protection, give Kenny a chance to throw the football. On that one big pass, we saw Jalen Warren step up and take away Mad Max Crosby out of the play. Said, see you later. We need stuff like that to happen. So in this game, guys, for my prediction, I've got Steelers. I don't know if we're going to have a blowout game. I want to see a blowout game. I want to see like 42-0 or 45-10 or something like that. But we just don't get it. I think it's going to be another heart attack game. Let's go. Steelers win. Chris Boswell going to have points too. Steelers win 26-23. 26-23 Steelers win. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Anyways, guys, make sure you put down in the comments below who you think is going to win. We have, just to summarize, we have the Steelers versus Texans, Titans versus Bengals, and the AFC North matchup, Ravens versus Browns. So at the end of it, when we see the table, we could have the Steelers at 3-1, which would be fantastic. The Baltimore Ravens could be 2-2, or they could be 3-1. The Browns could be 2-2, and the Bengals could be 1-3. So this is a pretty key matchup for the first 4 games. If the Steelers go 3-1 and the hardest opponent was the 49ers, then we're set sailing for the next game versus the Baltimore Ravens. So anything can happen, guys. Steelers lead the North. I'm pretty keen about that. Anyways, make sure you comment below what scores you want to see in those games. Steelers versus Texans, Ravens versus Browns, and Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry versus Joe Burrow or Josh Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll see you guys later.